I got it. I got it. I have my vitamins right here. I'm good to go. I know I need to wash my hands all the times, and Miss Fernand is always stressing to us, keep your hand sanitizer, don't touch this person, So the transition was pretty good for me. And then, too, I stayed in the house most of the time, so I didn't have much to worry about. But I was very prepared in that I had my vitamins. I still worked out. I still tried to do my little diets every now and again, but I was good.
As a chorister, you are required to maintain your physical being, your physical health. In 2015, my third year in the choir, I figured at some point you need to involve or include proper eating and proper dieting and proper exercise into your regimen so that you can perform to the best of your ability. And I must say, from then, each year I take on a time where I focus on my health and I focus on my fitness and I get myself together. But during the pandemic, I've been able to cook more at home. I have limited the amount of vitamins that are sold over the counters. I've included a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables in my diet, which has not only boosted my immune system, but has allowed me to perform more during my exercises. I haven't really been doing much vocal exercises other than singing the music that's popular at this time. But my physical being, I've been working very hard in maintaining my physical health so that when it's time to jump back into the choir realm, I'm able to produce what's needed of me as a person.
Yes, during this free time, I've been practicing my guitar. And even though we cannot go to church, my church films it on Facebook. So I sing with the praise team. Every morning I warmed up.
I would definitely say I've been able to stay in shape during the pandemic. I have done some of the typical things like taking extra vitamin C, different vitamins, minerals, drinking a lot of water. Could probably exercise some more, but definitely I think I've been able to keep general shape.
Mainly now. At first, when the pandemic began in March, I would usually just go over regular songs. I would just sing songs, that helps. But now I'm more into, I would go back and I would do Bahamas National Youth Choir things, songs that we sung in the past. Even if songs when I wasn't even there, I would sing those songs. I would go over regular vocal warm-ups that we would do, and that helps. So that's how I keep myself in shape.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, no increase in the national debt. Here, the nation's leader first presentation as Prime Minister on the supplementary budget. Also, the new doctor's hospital set to offer oncology services. And a late-night shooting claiming the life of one man while leaving another injured. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shoshana Roll-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news tonight, the nation's leader presenting a supplementary budget in the House of Assembly this morning, marking the start of the new government's agenda. Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, says the supplementary budget, with an effective date of October 1st, 2021, will bring the government's budget in line with a vision for progress and will not increase the national debt. Italia Hall reports.
The nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, says the supplementary budget statement titled Building the Foundation for a New Direction is designed to put the Bahamas on the path to change and progress. Prime Minister Davis addressing some of the challenges that he says the government met upon coming into office. Some of those challenges are the aftermath of Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Dorian, and the COVID-19 pandemic. The Prime Minister also noting some of the challenges that exist in various government agencies. He says despite billions of Bahamian dollars sitting in banks, the former administration opted to borrow approximately $2 billion in foreign currency loans over the recent fiscal year. He says as a part of the government's effort to guide the nation back to fiscal stability, a private sector debt advisory committee has been formed to advise the Ministry of Finance on the nation's debt strategy.
The committee will be chaired by Mr. James Smith, the former Minister of State for Finance. And that committee will comprise of representatives from domestic as well as international financial institutions based in the Bahamas. To assist the work of the committee, the government will engage an independent international debt advisory firm.
Prime Minister Davis says, as Minister of Finance, he requested a full accounting of the government's fiscal position, and a renowned accounting firm has been reviewing the information provided by the Ministry of Finance with respect to liabilities of the government as of September 30th.
There is a $1 billion difference between the numbers provided by the previous administration prior to the election and that's the truth. It is painfully clear that the pre-election report was an incomplete presentation of the government's contingent and real liabilities.
He notes that more than 17,000 Bahamians are currently receiving COVID-19 unemployment benefit assistance administered by the National Insurance Board.
Every person currently receiving $100 per week from the COVID unemployment assistance program, we will provide to them a $500 lump sum payment this Christmas.
And come December 1st, 2021, there will be an increase in public service pension payments. This group includes retired teachers, nurses, doctors, police officers, correction officers, and retired clerical and administrative staff.
For the 742 persons receiving less than $500 per month in monthly pension, they will receive an increase of $100. For the 2,012 persons receiving more than $500 but less than $1,000 in monthly pension, they will receive a monthly increase of $75. And for the 4,432 persons receiving a monthly pension of greater than $1,000, they will receive a monthly adjustment of $50.
Prime Minister Davis says increments which are paid to rank and file public officers will be reinstated this fiscal year. The payment date is set for January 2022. Now turning to value-added tax. The Prime Minister says it has been proposed that VAT is decreased from 12% to 10%.
I'm very pleased to announce we are moving forward with this reduction in the VAT rate. I believe it will help Bahamians and help our economy. And the reduction is being managed in a way that is fiscally responsible.
He says the government is committed to increasing direct cash transfers to families who need support with the reintroduction of the RISE program. The nation's leader stating that the budget statement sets the foundation for a new era in the country's development, adding that all Bahamians share a strong desire to finally exit this time of crisis and begin shaping a better future. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
In other news, a major investment on the island of Grand Bahama will not only provide employment, but also an alternative to healthcare treatment on the island. Tonight, the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, says the Doctors Hospital project will also offer an important service for cancer patients. 22. It will be located on the Mall Drive and is expected to employ around 150 Grand Bahamians.
This is huge. We're talking specialized services, and they're also going to be training. And so it is such a great opportunity for the people of Grand Bahama Island.
But the hospital will also have a hub in the 8 Mile community, housed at what was once a very valuable clinic that many turned to, led by Dr. Malik Kavala. This location is expected to be open by early next year. This branch will feature an oncology center. This means many persons who have been stricken with cancer will no longer have to travel for treatment.
You heard a lot of it really being that we do not have the skill in country, not just in order to be able to have oncology centers here, oncology centers there, and Nassau, the capital. And so what I found was that when I heard of Doctors Hospital, or when I asked about Doctors Hospital and will you have an oncology center, and the answer was yes, that was huge.
The Minister for Grand Bahama says this will be a significant benefit to the medical workforce and, by extension, the island of Grand Bahama.
What they are committed to doing is to training. They're committed to, of course, having the resources that are required to run a full oncology center. And that is so huge for the entire Grand Bahama community, where the breast cancer rate, I believe, has been really high. And we have so many people that take the journey every month or so in order to get treatment.
COVID-19 numbers continuing to trend downward in the country. In the latest health dashboard, some 27 cases were reported. 9 cases in New Providence, 2 in Grand Bahama, 2 in Abaco, 3 cases in Andros, 3 cases in Cat Island, 3 in Acklands, and 5 in Crooked Island. Of the newly confirmed cases, 11 are male and 16 are female. There are 86 hospitalizations across the country. 10 are in Grand Bahama. 3 persons are also in the intensive care unit. 57 recoveries were reported. Now, the Ministry of Health and Wellness reporting 1 new COVID-19 related death, a 63-year-old male of New Providence on October 5th. The death toll now stands at 643. Switching gears now, the Balearic Caribbean continues to provide a service to the island of Grand Bahama and Bimini. Despite the country's economic challenges, the company remains a vital transportation link by sea. Tonight, the executive director of Balearic is sharing the current state of the company's operation and plans for the upcoming holiday season. Our Italia Hall reports.
Executive Director of Balearic Caribbean, Mario Otero, says since resuming passenger service to the islands of Grand Bahama and Bimini earlier this year, business has been somewhat slow. But he admits that the summer season went better than expected.
That was a great sign. And now during fall and winter, we are back to the slow numbers. So right now we are performing 2 sailings a week. Those 2 sailings are being very slow. Moving forward, we will increase with 1 extra sailing for the Thanksgiving week. We are expecting that we will have some better numbers for that season and also for Christmas season.
He says additional days will be added if there are more bookings for the holiday season.
We are departing, we are sailing Tuesdays and Fridays. Mm-hmm. And in the Thanksgiving week, we will have Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. For Bimini, we are sailing Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays.
And as for 2022, he says the company is expecting great numbers.
Increasing sailings. We are ready to increase our sailings to the Bahamas, and hopefully, in the future, I don't know exactly when, but we are in the position that if there is a necessity to increase our fleet in the Bahamas, we are ready to increase our fleet in the Bahamas as soon as the market, it makes sense for us to have that. So I trust on this service, and the company trusts on Freeport, on Grand Bahama, and the Bahamas in general, and we are looking forward to better years to come.
Now, according to Otero, the new vaccination travel policy does not apply to sea passengers, so it is business as usual for Valeria Caribbean. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Police on Grand Bahama are investigating a homicide that occurred overnight in the 8 Mile Walk community. According to Assistant Superintendent of Police Stephen Roll, shortly after 10:30 p.m., Police Control Room received reports of a shooting incident at a business establishment situated in Pinedale.
Upon the officer's arrival, initial investigation revealed that 2 adult males were standing in front of the business establishment when they were approached by a lone gunman who produced a firearm and fired shots in their direction. As a result, both males received injuries about the body. EMS later attended the scene and pronounced one of the male lifeless. The other male was transported to Tehran Memorial Hospital, where he's listed in serious but stable condition.
An adult male is in police custody assisting with this investigation. However, ASP Roll is seeking the public's further assistance in resolving this matter.
The police are looking at all avenues in this investigation, and if there are CCTVs in this area, they will be analyzing those equipments to see how best they could solve this matter tonight. I want to urge members of the public to come forward with information that they may have regarding this incident tonight. They may contact the police at 919-911 or the Criminal Investigation Department at 350-3106, 350-3109.
Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
For your large and small generators, propane and butane stoves, LED flashlights, fuel canisters, coolers, batteries, gas and electric chainsaws, cooking supplies, tarps, matches, duct tape, and more.
Becoming a BTC postpaid customer is fast and easy. And what's more, by signing up, the deals are instant. tell us about some of the deals available for postpaid customers.
Well, we always have amazing deals available for our postpaid customers. We have up to 75% off any device that we carry, and you can also get up to $300 off of a phone if you're an existing customer. A new customer, you can get a free phone. And that's some of the amazing deals that we have at any of our major stores.
Let's talk again about switching over from prepaid to postpaid.
Okay, when you switch over from prepaid to postpaid with any carrier, you can keep your same number and you can come into a BTC store and your service will not be interrupted at all. Your friends and family won't even know that you made this switch.
And for new customers, what is the process like for them to become postpaid customers?
For a new customer, you just walk into the store, have a government-issued IDs, passport, driver's license, stuff like that. And once you do that, it'll be that simple. You could just visit one of our reps and they'll help you.
And tell us about some of the postpaid packages.
We have packages to suit any lifestyle and any budget. And whether you're homeschool, whether you have working from home, whatever it is, we have something here that will suit your budget.
So what are you waiting for? Visit any of our BTC locations and sign up and become a postpaid customer. It's fast, it's easy, and it's rewarding. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corval Pyfrom. Be well, and be back here next BTC Connection.
It's Park & Shop's end of summer sale with 25% off excluding underwear and red tag items. Sales racks up to 50% off. October 27th, 28th, 29th, and the 30th.
Bad little lady, you should be driving me crazy when she licking her lips and moving them hips like come here, baby. I wanna take her down now.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and in honor of the annual observance, a local insurance company is doing their part to put smiles on the faces of cancer victims. Freeport insurers, agents, and brokers donating care packages, all handmade by Grand Bahamian businesswoman Sharon Wallace. Director of Life and Health at Freeport Insurers, Lisa Strawn-Turnquest, says that the care packages are unique and personal, adding that the company believes that the packages will support those who are in the fight against the deadly disease.
And Sharon approached us and she told us she had these goodie bags. We thought we wanted to reach out and get these bags to actual victims and not in a general, generic way. We wanted it to touch someone's lives because certainly myself, as a cancer survivor, I recognize that cancer affects more than just the body. It affects you emotionally, it affects you psychologically, and any way that individuals can be supported in those two areas helps in the battle against the deadly disease.
Williams sharing how she came up with the idea and calls it a gift of love, while representative for In the Pink organization Sharon Simmons says she's simply grateful.
I walked in and when we saw the pillows and everything, it blew me away. And then when we found out that everything was handmade, this is truly a gift of love. And as anyone who's gone through chemotherapy and you're sitting there and you would need your pillow, you need everything in these bags is something that can be used. It's something that any person, any fighter right now would truly appreciate.
Meantime, the Sister Cancer Group receiving a major donation from the 5 Rotary Clubs on Grand Bahama this week. President of the Rotary Club of Grand Bahama, Rangan Johnson, says it is an effort by the presidents of all 5 clubs to reach out to cancer patients who are in need of medical care.
As we are very, very keen to assist them with their patients who need to travel to Nassau or to other destinations in order to receive their cure for cancer. And we feel very, very good about what we have done. And hopefully that will be more of a motivation for others to also assist Sister Cancer Association group. So therefore, more of the patients will be able to receive the cure they need for their cancer as it is very, very difficult for some of the persons from the island of Grand Bahama and elsewhere to actually to put the money together to travel or to stay at the hotels if they need to. So I appeal to everyone.
President of the Sister Support Group, Apostle Ann Grant, says that they are humbled by the support.
We are grateful because sometimes it's difficult for our members and others in the community, not just the members from Sister, but local persons in this community. They benefit from this. When they need a port, when they need to travel, whatever is needed, when they need a scan, you know, the donation goes out and they are grateful, thankful that they can get what they need on time. We're still lobbying, I have to put this in, for a local chemo bay, and we believe in the Lord that this would be the year that it comes through, because it's been a long time that we've been lobbying for this chemo bay so that they don't have to travel.
Switching gears now, the Bahamas Alzheimer's Association was founded in 2020 and aims to raise awareness and offer care and support for the people with dementia and their care partners nationally. Here on Grand Bahama, the founder of the Grand Bahama Home and Daycare for the Aged and Children's Center, Agatha Thompson, says she salutes the association on their one-year anniversary and the work that they are doing.
They celebrated their first anniversary, and we salute them. They're going to be moving from island to island. So hopefully Grand Bahama, as a matter of fact, Grand Bahama will be the next island where they will form an association, but we're looking forward to having a branch on each and every island, an active branch that we can fight and do something with this deadly disease that's stealing our loved ones so early, and it's becoming earlier and earlier. So we want you to be the eyes and ears of the elderly in your church, in your home, in your school, and in the community. Don't just laugh and say, this is happening. We want you to do something about it. We've been using all the FaceTime and the video calls, and those who can come into the garden, they've been able to come outside and have the visit, but we're now fully vaccinated. So we're we're still following all the protocols from the World Health Organization, but we're sort of easing up a bit where we're allowing them, once they're vaccinated, we're still sort of skeptical with persons who have traveled. We're not allowing them in at this time. But we've fared so far so good. We haven't lost anyone, staff or elderly. So we thank God for that, and we try to keep it that way.
And that's a look at stories making news. It's time for your evening sports check with Romiko Knowles.
Welcome to Sports in the North. I'm Romiko Knowles. Tonight we are on the Diamond. A young man from East Grand Bahama who has made it to the professional ranks in the sport of baseball is returning home to host the Elite 9 baseball tournament at the Emera Baseball Park. This Christmas, baseball players are invited out to the Emera Baseball Park for the Elite 9 baseball tournament scheduled to take place on December 20th through 23rd. Professional baseball player Tanaj Thomas says this event is all about giving young aspiring players an opportunity to play and earn some development skills.
When I was younger, coming to the baseball field used to be electric. All the fans, the noise, the music, it was like a fun atmosphere. But I know when I go back home now, it's just not many parents showing up, not many family members coming to watch. And I feel as if that kind of drops the kids' confidence. So with this, we basically just want to bring a fun environment back to the baseball park and actually give these kids some confidence and give these kids another chance at becoming something great.
In addition, he says international teams will also be taking part in the event.
Teams will be coming in from the 19th. We got age groups of open, 16U and 12U for baseball. And then we'll also have 18 and under women's softball.
Now on opening day, he says there will be a celebrity softball tournament in honor of Michelle Thomas. Still on the Diamond, we spoke to the head coach of Fortune 360 Baseball Club, this year's Senior League Division champs, David Hoyt, who says they are looking to take part in the tournament.
So right now, Fortune 360 Baseball Club is just, eager to get back onto the field, once we get the clearance from the government, so we could start making preparations for tournaments in the upcoming year, so more of the young kids could be seen.
He also shares how he is keeping his players in shape ahead of the upcoming season.
Right now, the only thing we can tell them do is, do push-ups, throw, at home, make sure, they're staying away from, everyone, for social distancing and stuff like that. But all they can do is just do light workouts at home until they could actually, get full clearance.
On the international scene, are there any Braves fans out there? The Atlanta Braves defeated the Houston Astros 6-2 in Game 1 of the 2021 World Series on Tuesday night. The Braves lead the best-of-7 series by a 1-0 margin. Now on to Game 2. And that is your check on sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new, fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors. Come on down to World's Wholesale on Queens Highway in the Bamboo East Complex, opposite Yeager Funeral Home, where we sell the highest quality hurricane impact windows, doors, metal roofs, and hurricane shutters at the best prices you can find. Visit our store Monday to Friday from the hours.
The Ministry of Health is working to ensure the safety of the Bahamian people. Help us minimize the risk that coronavirus poses to citizens, residents, and visitors by following these 5 easy steps. Step 1. Wet your hands with clean water, apply soap and lather for 20 seconds by rubbing them together. Include the top of your hands between your fingers and under your fingernails. Rinse your hands under clean water, then dry them with a paper towel or air dry them. Remember to wash your hands before and after eating, preparing a meal, changing a diaper, or caring for the sick, and always after using the bathroom, touching money, shaking hands, or taking out the trash. Step 2. Cough and sneeze in your elbow or upper sleeve, not in your hands, not in the air. Or you can cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Put your used tissue in the trash bin when you're finished. Remember to wash your hands with soap and clean water after you cough or sneeze. Also, remember never to spit on the ground, roads, or in open spaces. Step 3. Ensure that raw meat is properly handled and cooked thoroughly. Step 4. Avoid sharing drinking glasses, eating utensils like spoons and forks, or sharing personal items such as toothbrushes and towels. Germs can live on surfaces we touch, so wipe and disinfect surfaces where germs can live, and keep your surroundings clean. Step 5. Avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illness, such as coughing or sneezing. Should you or anyone you know feel that you have been exposed to the coronavirus, contact the surveillance unit of the Ministry of Health immediately. To reach us, call 502-4776, 502-4790, or 502-4737. We want Bahamians and those that live with and visit us to remain safe from the coronavirus. To do this, we need the help of each and every one of you to follow the simple steps we have shared. Let's stay safe, Bahamas.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Our good friend Carmel Churchill, you are our Facebook friend on this Wednesday. We always appreciate your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shashina Roll-Parkinson. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, the country's current challenges laid bare. Pension increases on the way, encouraging signs on the local COVID fight, and another case of buyer beware. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapinder, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. Topping the news, the previous administration openly accused of concealing the true state of the country's finances ahead of the general elections and grossly under-budgeting for key commitments. Addressing the first sitting of Parliament since its Parliament opened 3 weeks ago, Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis laid out the improper borrowing practices and what his government will do as it sets the foundation for a new era in the country's development. Keishla Adderley has the story.
Prime Minister Davis told Parliament in his supplementary budget communication that the government does not expect to see a national debt increase beyond what's forecast in the 2021-2022 budget as it focuses on leading the way out of crisis. Peeling back the layers of financial activity under the former administration, the Prime Minister revealed that a probe of the country's finances by a major accounting firm reflected a major inconsistency in the reporting of liabilities as documented by the previous administration.
The numbers provided by the Ministry of Finance for the period ending the 30th of September 2021 reveal a $1 billion difference from the numbers provided by the previous government in their pre-election report. $1 billion difference. Fiscal Responsibility Act requires the pre-election report, which I've referred, to be signed both by the Minister of Finance and the Financial Secretary. I will leave it to the Bahamian people to judge. I leave it to the Bahamian people to judge whether a $1 billion difference between the report and the reality reflected an honest, whether the reality reflected an honest and true commitment to fiscal transparency.
The Prime Minister also lamented that borrowing has been severely restricted as debt to GDP ratios have tightened in recent years.
Our country's public debt levels rose from roughly 61% of GDP in 2018-2019 to almost 100% of GDP by 2020. Such a level is clearly unacceptable for a country as small as ours, and our credit rating has deteriorated as a result. We have fallen to non-investment grade status, or as it is commonly known, junk status.
To deal with the deficit, a debt advisory committee to be chaired by former State Finance Minister James Smith has been mandated to provide the government with a debt strategy. Much of that debt linked to IMF borrowing, which the Prime Minister said was grossly mismanaged.
August 2021, the public learned from the Auditor General himself that a key condition of the IMF facility was to disclose publicly who received contracts from the borrowed funds. Yet the former administration completely ignored that requirement, and as it left office, it still failed to provide the necessary disclosure. I have now been advised by the officials within the Ministry of Finance that this loan was entered into without a legal opinion to confirm whether the government could comply with the terms, and there was no provision made on an ex post basis to comply with the terms of the financing.
Prime Minister Davis also revealing that contract commitments were left out of budget consideration in many cases, among other things that require funding.
The report excludes amounts owing for taxes for a star witness in a criminal case of a former cabinet minister. This is This is a very unusual arrangement, which is supported by a promissory note signed by a senior official of the Ministry of Finance.
Parliament has adjourned to Monday, November 1st at 10 a.m. Keishla Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Well, meantime, public service pensioners to receive an early Christmas gift. This following the Prime Minister's announcement this morning that an increase in pension payments will take effect December 1st. This, however, does not apply in the case of former parliamentarians, governors general, judges, or their spouses, but rather distributed to the most vulnerable.
For the 742 persons receiving less than $500 per month in monthly pension, they will receive an increase of $100. For the 2,012 persons receiving more than $500 but less than $1,000 in monthly pension, they will receive a monthly increase of $75. And for the 4,432 persons receiving a monthly pension of greater than $1,000, they will receive a monthly adjustment of $50. Madam Speaker, the annual cost of this adjustment is $6.4 million, which is less than the amount owed in business license fees by one developer in New Providence, who received the assistance of the former administration to avoid paying what was legally owed to the government.
The Prime Minister also noting that come January 2022, the government will correct the inequity in the payment of increments.
The increments, which are nominal adjustments in earnings for the majority of public officers of no more than $700 per year, were withheld by the previous government, even as lavish public contracts were awarded to family members of cabinet ministers. This inequity is now being addressed. Effective date,
Honourable members, take your seat. Take your seat. Honourable member for Central Grand Bahama.
The effective date for the increment reinstatement is July 2021.
Members, honourable members, please.
This inequity is now being addressed. The effective date for the increment reinstatement is July 2021, and the payment date is January 2022. This, I don't say nothing, I can't back up. Don't come after me. This reinstatement, which will cost $8 million this year, is being funded from the increase in revenue over forecast experienced in the first quarter of this fiscal year.
There was also this announcement.
Every person currently receiving $100 per week from the COVID Unemployment Assistance Program, we will provide to them a $500 lump sum payment this Christmas. We say to them, there's no way to alleviate entirely the suffering that they would have experienced over the past 18 months. But the hope is that this payment can mark the beginning of a new, more hopeful time for them.
Meantime, the Minister of Health and Wellness today updated parliamentary colleagues on the critical steps being taken to advance the local fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Carla Palmer reports.
Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honourable Dr. Michael Darville, reminded that the COVID-19 pandemic continues to be the country's greatest challenge.
This pandemic has disrupted economies of the world and their supply chains. It has changed the way we work, changed the way that our children learn, and it has placed tremendous pressure on the delivery of healthcare services in our country.
However, with 642 deaths to date on record, the COVID pandemic is a daily reminder.
Over the last 6 weeks, I've had an opportunity to review many important aspects of our country healthcare system and to see it for what it really is: broken, overburdened and desperately struggling to meet the healthcare needs of our people. To put it plain and simple, our medical infrastructure is crumbling. There is a manpower shortage. Our staff is overworked, and our nurses are exiting the system as fast as we train them.
Now under his watch, and the New Day government touting one country, one plan for health, Minister Darville says the overall healthcare system in the country will improve.
Over the next several months, public health officials will take a dual approach to healthcare reform, enhancing the COVID-19 response and strengthening healthcare system integration and care. Over the next 100 days, the Ministry of Health and Wellness will work to define the new structural adjustments needed in order to achieve the reforms necessary to maintain this dual focus. And over the next few weeks, we will unveil the new structural adjustments needed at the ministry in order to achieve the ministry's new deliverables.
Still to implement other COVID fighting initiatives, Minister Darville says the number of COVID cases are already on the decline.
I'm happy to advise that our statisticians have determined that the trend in new cases of COVID-19 per day are decreasing. Over the past 28 days, the 7-day moving average of new cases for the entire Bahamas decreased from 63 new cases down to 22 cases per day. For New Providence, the trend has moved from 51 new cases to 19 new cases per day. For the Family Islands, the 7-day moving average has declined from 9 new cases to 3 new cases per day. I am now advised that using the COVID-19 travel health notice level criteria as described by the CDC website and the new case data available at the time of this report, the Bahamas could petition for the reduction in its COVID-19 health notice from level 4 to level 3 in the upcoming weeks.
Minister Darville also disclosed that as of October 23rd, 127,565 Bahamians and residents were fully vaccinated. He is encouraging others to do the same. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
In a brief communication to Parliament, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Tourism, Aviation and Investments, the Honourable Chester Cooper, clarified the policy regarding vaccination requirements for cruise passengers visiting the Bahamas. This in the face of what he called a tourism resurgence.
The current emergency orders, which expire on November 13, 2021, provides that all passengers arriving by cruise must be vaccinated. As these provisions expire shortly, there has been some anxiety in the cruise industry given their need for forward planning. Madam Speaker, as I have indicated publicly, I now formally foreshadow on the record of this Parliament that next week the Minister responsible will lay in this Parliament rules under the Health Services Act. The relevant rule will provide specifically that a person entering the Bahamas on a cruise ship must be fully vaccinated prior to embarkation and shall, whilst cruising in the Bahamas, be subject to the testing requirements mandated by the cruise line operators as approved by the Minister. In short, Madam Speaker, this is a message to the cruising community, in effect, that the status quo on this matter shall remain.
Now, if you're planning a trip to the United States, you may be interested in the latest from the Atlanta-based Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Starting November 6, foreign air travelers, that is all those who are not U.S. citizens or U.S. permanent residents, will be required to not only be fully vaccinated, but provide proof prior to boarding an airplane to fly to the U.S. And there are just limited exceptions to the rule. It's also important to know that all fully vaccinated travelers will still be required to show proof of a pre-departure negative COVID-19 test taken no more than 3 days before traveling. All FDA and WHO approved vaccinations and any combination will be accepted, and this includes AstraZeneca. Children under 18 years old are exempt from the vaccination requirement. However, those between the ages of 2 and 17 years will still need to present a negative COVID-19 test result. Well, the pandemic has no doubt taken students on a roller coaster ride, from a complete shutdown to full virtual, hybrid to face-to-face, leading to what is believed to be enormous adverse effects on students. Citing data obtained from UNESCO, Education, Technical and Vocational Training Minister, the Honourable Glenys Hannah Martin, disclosed in Parliament that the effects of interrupted learning may be generational. Hoping to get a better understanding of the local fallout, the Ministry of Education has then enlisted the expertise of the Department of Statistics. And while those results are not yet known, the minister says what they do know so far is a matter of grave concern.
As it seems clear that thousands of children at varying levels of the educational spectrum have either been completely absent for the entirety of this crisis or have been worryingly inconsistent in attendance via virtual classes. Some children would very likely have been more greatly affected than others, and there are enhanced concerns for children with special needs who would have faced unique barriers in a virtual learning environment. Some schools have been more greatly affected than others. UNESCO's analysis indicates that it could, and I quote, take a decade to return to the situation before the pandemic.
Now, that recovery, she says, could be attained 3 years from now in 2024 if measures are taken.
I pledge that we will do everything within our power to ensure that we do not produce a lost generation of Bahamian youth. The task is huge. The Department of Education has developed a national strategy to assist in the recovery, remediation, and acceleration of student learning and performance. The Curriculum Division has developed guidelines and recommendations for implementations of recovery and acceleration plans. Relying upon empirical data, the Department of Education will now enlist the assistance of educators, guidance counselors, school attendance officers, and others to reach out to the parents and guardians of our children who have not been consistent in their school attendance to offer support.
Well, former Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Dr. Hubert Minnis, and his parliamentary team called a press conference following the House of Assembly's adjournment this afternoon. The Killarney MP was flanked by his parliamentary team that included East Grand Bahama MP Kwesi Thompson, who took the lead in responding to the Prime Minister's communication. Thompson making it clear that the opposition was very disappointed by what the Prime Minister said, which he termed political rhetoric. The FNM first took issue with the assertion that revenue was disadvantaged, instead charging that contrary to what was said during the last 3 months of its administration, revenue increased by $90 million. Another matter was the planned VAT reduction. And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30 and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
A lot has changed over the past 60 years, but at Commonwealth Bank, our mission to build lifelong relationships with our clients remains the same. Our customers are more than just a number. Our customers are our family, and together we create banking solutions that fit your unique needs. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
KFC Saucy Wings gives you the choice. A precisely calculated chicken to sauce ratio for that perfect wing experience. for a totally wild, completely coated sauce adventure that transcends traditional flavor boundaries. Whatever your choice, get sauced with KFC Saucy Wings with the perfect amount of flavor. Saucy Wings at KFC Nassau. So good.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC super-fast fiber internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our super-fast fiber internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
As a professional graphic artist, I work from anywhere in the world. When I travel, I try to keep up with my paperwork and bills as much as possible, utilizing NIB's ESS or Employee Self-Service Portal to submit my monthly payments and to upload my contribution statement makes life easier. The portal is pretty easy to use too. I consider it to be user-friendly. It asks all the necessary questions to guide me through uploading my contribution statement, and I like that it calculates my payments. The NIB representative who showed me how to use the portal, she was patient, friendly, and knowledgeable. I used to fill out my contribution statement manually and visit an NIB office every month to make payments. But now the ESS portal allows for the entire process to be completed online in a time-efficient manner. Like, yay, thank you, that's done. You should sign up today at ess@nib-bahamas.com.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Police warning the public to be on their guard against scammers looking for every opportunity to snare unsuspecting victims. Fern Carey sat down with the head of the Financial Crime Branch, who provides more insight on the matter.
The recent uptick in online fraud is a major concern for members of the Financial Crimes Investigation Branch, who say scammers are using more sophisticated methods to manipulate unsuspecting victims online in order to con them out of money. Officer in charge of the Financial Crimes Investigation Branch, Chief Superintendent Matthew Edgecombe, is urging everyone to watch out for scammers. He also referenced an email probably sent to countless others from an alleged businessman in Ghana offering persons a significant share in a $750 million scheme.
This morning I received an email too, in my email this morning, from somebody who said they calling from Guyana, writing from Guyana, and they said that they're working for a company who have $750 million that they want to get out of Guyana. Then they'll ask and say if I could, the email saying that, well, I'll have to send them my information, my banking information, my email, a copy of my documents, and I get 50% of what they send out. That's a red flag, all right? And don't be tricked into that.
Residents are also being advised to be aware of persons advertising items for sale, like cars, and asking for potential buyers to transfer money into the culprit's account.
These criminals online who put up stuff for sale and they give it to you at a very, very good price. For instance, I just talked about a vehicle. They will put up a nice vehicle, and they will say it's offered for a certain amount. Now you're looking at it, you say that's a good buy. But that's only a way of getting you to release your funds to them. There's no vehicle. They pull a picture down somewhere or somewhere.
While free Wi-Fi may seem like a blessing, Exuma says it is another avenue fraudsters are using to wreak havoc on people's finances. And he warned that Wi-Fi in the home should be protected at all times.
Please, protect your Wi-Fi in your home with a password. Don't let it be open to everybody. We know of incidents where people sit in front of your home and do stuff. Don't forget now, your Wi-Fi have a lot of your information on it. All right? Some other stuff, private stuff is there on your Wi-Fi, what you do every day. So I'm saying to you, make that strictly with a password.
Fern Kiri, ZNS Network News.
COVID's to blame for a 63-year-old New Providence man's October 5th death, now the 643rd such tragedy on record here at home. Still, 60 deaths remain under investigation. Such news comes as the Bahamas pulls in another 27 new infections, 9 of them on New Providence, 5 on Crooked Island, 3 each on Cat Island, Acklands and Andros, and 2 each on Grand Bahama and Abaco. Of this group, females account for 16, males 11. Hospitalizations, meantime, down to 86 COVID admissions, 14 of those people occupying beds on the intensive care unit. At last count, 20,318 people had recovered from the virus, 57 of them on October 25th. Well, for nearly 2 years now, all eyes have been on the COVID-19 pandemic, the rise and fall in cases, the acceptance and rejection of vaccines, and the reimposition of lockdowns in some regions. In the midst of all this, a rare sexually transmitted disease has popped up on the global scene that has caught the attention of health officials. Danovosis is a bacterial infection described as flesh-eating due to the damaging nature of its genital ulcers and sores. Officials from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says it is curable through antibiotics. Cases of the new STI on the rise in countries like India, Papua New Guinea, Central Australia, Southern Africa, and the Caribbean. Well, hundreds of COVID-19 victims who have found it difficult to breathe on their own have had to be airlifted to the capital for further medical treatment. But what is the process like getting that patient safely to the Princess Margaret Hospital? Well, we caught up with the Director of Operations and a physician on board those emergency flights to find out.
That call goes through our dispatcher, and our dispatcher would take all the information regarding the patient.
When COVID-19 reared its ugly head here in the Bahamas in March of 2020, the Air Ambulance Services team hit the skies frequently, transporting ailing victims stricken with the deadly virus. While it can be quite an expensive undertaking, Director of Operations Captain Jason Sweeting says the team collects about 40 patients per month, with the largest patient weighing in about 300 to 400 pounds.
The aircraft has special stretcher systems. We have loading ramps that we're able to safely put a patient in the aircraft. We have what we call a personal PIU, patient isolation unit, or people call it capsule or pod. That actually protects the patient and the healthcare workers themselves. Okay? We use that. We have stretcher systems. We also have whatever the needs of the patient are, we can accommodate.
Captain Sweeting says he's deeply concerned about the high volume of calls from distressed COVID patients from the islands of Abaco, Eleuthera, and Inagua. And based on the vaccination status of victims in the past, Sweeting, along with his colleague, Dr. Sergio Kerr, are strongly advising Bahamians to get the jab.
I'm vaccinated. I feel that the vaccine would help. For all the patients, like I said, we have flown. We've only flown one patient that was vaccinated that need to seek additional medical help.
Good thing is we have data from all over the world, and it's shown that the vaccine has decreased the amount of severe illness and the amount of need for hospitalization and death. So that's really one of my concerns. I'm vaccinated, and I also had severe COVID, so I look at it from both standpoints of things, and I think that if we have more increased numbers of vaccinated people, then I think the severe disease is going to be less, hospital admissions is going to be less.
But getting that shot in the arm is not the only issue that Sweeting says needs to be addressed. In fact, he says the lack of resources at the country's premier healthcare facility is a major challenge.
Availability of space in the capital. They had shortages, so sometimes patients would actually have to wait. It could be a few hours, it could be the next day. So that is one of the biggest challenges. We would be ready to pick up a patient, but you can't bring a patient in Nassau if there's no space.
LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
The wait is over. Native Show is back and better than ever. Director of Events, Charity Brister, shares why she's excited about the show's big comeback.
Over the years, we've worked closely with the producer of Native Show, Sean Johnson, and he approached me about doing a show that would encompass many of our signature events. And I thought it was a great idea because since March 2019, we have not been able to have any of our signature events. And so he produced it, and we like what we saw. And it goes back probably almost 20 years. And I think the timing is really good, seeing that we've not had any festivals for going on to 3 years. And I want to kind of remind Bahamians of what we were used to and to see how we can get back there. We also want to use it as a means to promote vaccinations. And so we want to show Bahamians this is where we were and that we can get back there if they get vaccinated. So what we would really want to do is encourage Bahamians to tune in and look. You just might see yourself at one of the festivals. It could be the Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival, the Crab Fest, Pineapple Fest, a Junkanoo Summer Festival, you name it. And so we will be promoting the signature events of the islands of the Bahamas.
Native Show is set to air on ZNS on November 4th at 8 p.m. and will re-air on Saturday, November 6th at 1 p.m. Be sure to tune in. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
COVID-19 attacked our personal and national psyche. We fought back. We adjusted our consciousness so that we could wrap our minds around the impossible and unbelievable things we were going through. But guess what? Nobody escaped. That means there was nobody who was too pretty, too cute, too important, too holy, or too rich to escape the mental trauma and battering of COVID-19. We can allow COVID-19 to destroy us or defeat us, or we can make a decision right now to act in a manner that supports wellness for ourselves and for the nation. So let's act to restore and sustain our personal sense of well-being and our national mental health status. We're all involved. It's that important.
Transfer money internationally now through the Cash and Go mobile wallet. It is easy and secure with no wait lines, as you can transfer funds at your convenience even from the comfort of your home. Send and receive money with no restrictive times, and use your debit or credit card if you want to go cashless at no additional cost. All transactions are saved in the mobile wallet, and there is 24/7 in-app support. Cash and Go's mobile wallet, now with international transfer. Easy, simple, safe, and secure.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. tout your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
How's your day going?
In a word, busy. 6 a.m. gym, 7 a.m. breakfast, 8 a.m. drop the kids to school, 9 to 3 back-to-back meetings with working lunch, of course, 4 p.m. pick up the kids, 4:15 dog groomer. Oh, but that reminds me, oh dear.
Is something wrong?
Yeah, I double booked my 6 p.m. charity committee versus helping out at the kids' ballet. Oh, it's a tough one. I promised the kids.
Which one are you going to reschedule?
Neither. Divide and conquer. My husband can handle his own on the dance floor.
It's a good thing your money's been just as busy.
RF, keeping your money busy with investment products and services that match your needs. Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
As Deaf Awareness Month approaches, hearing at all levels is being encouraged. Our Lloyd Allen speaks with a professional who says there are signs that every parent can look for.
Whether you're a child or a child at heart, having fun is an important part of life. And as Deaf Awareness Month approaches, there are some things you may need to know to ensure that your hearing is at its optimal. Dr. Deborah Newbirth says all parents need to be concerned about a child's ability to hear.
One of the most important reasons is for the child to function normal. That means they're able to learn to speak normally, they're able to learn in classroom at a normal pace, their reading, their spelling, their language, they're able to function normally in a society when they become adults.
Newbirth adds that teachers may also observe that signs exist that a child may need to have their hearing tested.
When sounds are being made in the room, how is that child responding? Are they startled if it's a loud noise? When every other child is singing, are they also singing or are they just mouthing the words?
She says things like delayed responses, poor academic performance, mimicking behavior, and inability to follow instructions or withdrawal, which could come in the form of a child sitting in the back of a class, can all prove as signs that a child may have limited hearing. Regardless of the challenges, technology has come a long way in providing hope to those affected.
We have the OAE screening, that's the Otoacoustic Emission Screening. And there's also the ABR, which is the Auditory Brainstem Test. We can do those, and usually it's a pass-fail.
Dr. Newbirth says high-risk babies, like those who are premature or have suffered from jaundice, may have delayed issues. On a detailed level, screenings seem to determine if there is a deficiency and at what level.
The top would be normal hearing, and then after that we have a mild hearing loss, then moderate hearing loss, and as we go up it's going to get worse, moderately severe, and then profound.
The doctor accepts hearing can be a challenge at all stages in life, particularly for the elderly who may begin losing their memory due to limited hearing. For those reasons, she says a national registry across the country is imperative to get the number of people impacted by limited hearing and begin treatment.
What we're hoping at the Center for the Deaf is to go around from island to island and from one corner of New Providence to the next and identify persons with hearing loss. That would help us establish a registry so that then we can present that to the government and say, this is what we need. And with this information regarding the population, we need these resources in place. And then we can help put those in place, and the Center for the Deaf can become a place where people, no matter where they are in the Bahamas, know I could reach out to this place and I can get the help that I need.
And as Deaf Awareness Month approaches in November, those with challenges are encouraged to reach out to the Center for the Deaf for free testing and other levels of assistance. Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Well, great story there, Lloyd. As we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Hurricane season is upon us. Be prepared. BAF General can cover your home and belongings with an affordable and comprehensive hurricane plan. Remember, your home may be the largest investment ever. Keep it covered with BAF General Insurance this hurricane season.
BAF, that's BAF for life.
Wait, that's you?
Girl, don't be calling my name in public like that. What you saying?
Hey, radio, why you out here?
Come to get my car license.
Yeah, but you don't have to be out here.
No?
No, you could just go to My Gateway. My Gateway is a fast, easy, and secure way to access and pay all government services online.
So what you do?
I went to mygateway.gov.bs, registered with a government-issued ID, and bam, I was done. I scheduled an appointment, and in less than 20 minutes, I was straight.
Oh, shoot.
We planned for where we are today. A strong company, a powerful network, built by the people, for the people, because we believed in best, because we lived for the moments, and we delivered. You know what we were. Now, you get to see who we are. We are alive.
A son of the soil, the keynote speaker at Exuma's Business Outlook set for Thursday. Addressing stakeholders on that island will be Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, and Exuma MP, the Honourable Chester Cooper, who's expected to share the government's plans for future island developments. Presentations will cover various topics, including the status of airport development, the sand dollar implementation, sustained investment in electricity, water, and broadband infrastructure, the enhancement of healthcare and patient safety during COVID-19, hotel and airline updates, and financial and investment options. Joan Albury, president of TCL Group, the multimedia company behind the 8-Island Bahamas Business Outlook series, says having had a very successful run to date, they anticipate the upcoming Outlook to only build on that success. Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. Outside of our studios, we are under partly sunny conditions. 84 degrees is the current temperature, relative humidity 74%. We have north-northwest winds at 10 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,011.3 millibars. That is 29.87 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 81s in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Toll, Key, and Marshall, Barbacoa, the Berry Islands, 82. Alderstown, Bimini, 83 degrees, 83 also in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera, 82. Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space, Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros, all at 85 degrees. 84s in Artistan, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rumkey, and Georgetown, Exuma. 85s in Rygat Island, Clarence Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Acklands, and Matthew Tiny, Niagara. Turks and Caicos Islands, 84 degrees. Boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern islands tonight, northwest winds, speeds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide takes place at 7:42 this evening. In the central and southeastern islands tonight, southwest to west winds 10 to 15 knots, and your wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. Tomorrow, which is Thursday, southwest winds can be expected. They will be increasing, by the way, 12 to 18 knots, wave heights building 3 to 6 feet, so caution flags go up tomorrow for boaters in the Northwest Bahamas. Low tide 7:29 in the morning, high tide at 1:59 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, light and variable winds with flat seas. And as we take you into Friday, for the Northwest Bahamas, the winds will continue to increase ahead of a strong cold front that is heading our way. The winds will be southwest on Friday, 15 to 25 knots. Very rough sea conditions at 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. So we're asking boaters on Friday to exercise extreme caution. Low tide will take place at 8:32 in the morning. High tide will occur at 2:57 in the afternoon. For the southeast Bahamas on Friday, south to southwest winds 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Mama Lily, Mama Lily, Mama Lily, Mama Lily, Mama Lily, Mama Lily, white girl and dingy coat, Mama Lily, pull up your gun, let me see your coat, Mama Lily, white girl and dingy coat, Mama Lily, pull up your gun, let me see your coat, Mama Lily, Mama Lily, Mama Lily, Mama Lily.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Extended weather forecast is still ahead.
At BPL, we are champions of safety. We've developed a work culture that is committed to safety at all levels within our organization.
We're more than just co-workers. We're a family. And to safeguard ourselves from injury, we ensure that our junior employees receive on-the-job training from our veteran employees who are more familiar with our safety protocols.
At the completion of every assignment, our crews perform a routine inspection of our system. We then contact system control for the approval before restoring power to the affected areas. It's a shared responsibility for us. By following these simple but important safety protocols, we'll reach our goal of getting to zero. Zero on-the-job injuries and zero lost time accidents. That's why at BPL for us, it's think safe, work safe, home safe.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
This portion of the news brought to you by Genuine Care, keeping you home while you're away. This is ZNS Total Sports.
From the NBA, the Sacramento Kings versus the Phoenix Suns, a relevant hard-court matchup for the Bahamas as Bahamian Suns Buddy Hield and DeAndre Ayton face off. With both teams spotting records of 1-2 in the infant season, both are hoping to propel their teams to playing .500 ball. In tonight's game, Ayton's Suns will play host to the Kings at the Talking Stick Resort Arena. Game time is 10 p.m. Still on the NBA, another Bahamian takes to the hard court tonight when Kai Jones's Charlotte Hornets is hosted by the Orlando Magic in the Sunshine State of Florida. Game time is 7 p.m. The Hornets are seeking to improve its season record to 4-1, while the Magic will seek to improve to 2-3.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Shop for sweet savings at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Kellogg's assorted cereals, family size, $4.99. Rainbow evaporated milk, large, 2 for 99 cents. Campbell's vegetable soup, 10.5 ounce, 2 for $2.25. Red, green, or black seedless grapes, $2.99 per pound. Bone-in chicken breast, $1.79 per pound. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Having a policy with Bahama Health is more than just health insurance. It's about feeling good knowing that your health and wellness is covered. It's about the confidence you feel knowing that your card is accepted by over 50 pharmacies and 400 local doctors. It's about peace of mind, knowing that when you travel, you have comprehensive coverage and our overseas partner is just a phone call away. It's about the security you feel, knowing that you're an important part of the family.
Join the family. COVID-19 attacked our personal and national psyche. We fought back. We adjusted our consciousness so that we could wrap our minds around the impossible and unbelievable things we were going through. But guess what? Nobody escaped. That means there was nobody who was too pretty, too cute, too important, too holy, or too rich to escape the mental trauma and battering of COVID-19. We can allow COVID-19 to destroy us or defeat us, or we can make a decision right now to act in a manner that supports wellness for ourselves and for the nation. So let's act to restore and sustain our personal sense of well-being and our national mental health status. We're all involved. It's that important.
No delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, an area of low pressure to the south of Massachusetts, which is a non-tropical low, will be moving towards the east over the next day or so. And as it moves eastward, it's expected to move into some warmer waters where it could take on subtropical characteristics. And there's about a 30% chance of that happening right in this region here. And that's the only thing happening in the tropics this evening. Satellite pictures still showing high pressure now in control of our weather. Old dry frontal system across the southeast Bahamas continuing to sink towards towards the south and east. But we are looking at this frontal system here, which is now moving through Texas. That is going to continue advancing towards the east. We expect it to go through the northwest Bahamas on Friday evening, and that's going to bring with it some heavy showers and thunderstorms, strong winds ahead and behind that frontal system over the weekend. Partly cloudy tonight, 76 degrees for your low temperature, and tomorrow we're looking at increasing clouds in the afternoon, and there could be some showers and thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. 86 degrees for your high temperature, and your extended weather forecast becoming wet on Thursday afternoon. That will carry over into Friday ahead of that frontal system, and thereafter we expect some drying out on Saturday, lots of sunshine back in our forecast, and that will hold us right into the early part of next week, where we'll see some comfortable temperatures during the nighttime. Daytime temperatures, they will hold in the mid-80s.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the Sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. And as we celebrate our 44th year of television broadcasting, it feels great to be your home. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
Bahamas is a very beautiful place. We have sandy beaches and clear waters. We have a lot of tourists coming here. We like to dance and make music.
The Bahamas is a chain of islands surrounded by water. It is about 60 miles from Florida.
We live on Andros Island.
One of the most beautiful treasures we have in the Bahamas is a coral reef. Some people call it the jewel of the Bahamas.
A coral reef is a massive limestone formation which is built up by millions of little tiny creatures called polyps, which are related to the jellyfish family. I'm Nicholas Nuttall. I founded BREEF, the Bahamas Reef Environment Educational Foundation. People talk about the coral reefs as being the rainforests of the ocean, like a huge bank of trees with all sorts of things living in and off them. Coral reefs are abundant in the Bahamas, or were, up until a few years ago. We have the third longest coral reef in the world.
In the past 20 years, a lot of the coral reef have died.
The coral reefs are endangered because some people throw trash, chemicals, oil, gasoline in the water.
Makes me feel bad because the Bahamas depends on the coral reefs for our tourism.
The danger of the coral reefs are in, I'm afraid, comes from humans. Overfishing is the most immediate cause, and then the global warming, which is caused by excess use of energy, which makes the water warmer, and it's a stress which the coral can't stand. A healthy piece of coral has a dimpled look on it. The colors are either blue or various sorts of orange and yellow. The dead coral is white or brownish and usually covered in weed. It's not a pretty sight.
If you look at the reef now compared to what it was in 1973, it's a vast difference. My name is Peter Douglas. I'm a dive master here at Small Hope Bay Lodge. In some places, it looks like a war zone. And, you know, we're just sitting here praying, my God, how long can something as delicate as this take this kind of shock? And this has not only happened here, but it's happened globally. Places like the Maldives are like gone, Florida Keys, gone. And we're just sitting here, what can we do to educate and help our young people save this for the next generations?
Now you look out there, eh? You notice how nice and white that water goes out, and then you see the dark areas? The dark areas, turtle grass, and the brown areas, the algae. Now slow down, now you're on these rocks, and there's a lot of living stuff on the rock. You don't want to crush all the little snails.
But what can we do is start by just cleaning up our environment, being sensitive to what we are using, where we're putting it. You know, the planet might be 2/3 water, but that doesn't mean it's a big place to dump.
At our school, we clean up the mangroves and the coral reefs And we pick up all the dirty trash and all the bottles and other garbages there. It helps the baby fishes to live their life.
The swampy wetlands and mangroves are places where people are inclined to go dumping garbage. The kids and the grown-ups are joining in. There are about 60 different sites which are being cleaned and restored. They can turn this thing around. It can recover. It could be brought round.
Once we go in, we're gonna swim as a group. Ready? Are you excited?
This is not only a Bahamian problem or an Androsian problem. This is a problem for everybody in the world, and especially our neighbors next door in America, because we are one of the big nursery areas for marine life. And, you know, a fish that is born and spawned in the Bahamas could end up someplace off the coast of New York.
I believe the coral reef will survive because more people will know about it, not to trash it, and not to throw all the kind of chemicals and stuff in it.
By keeping the swamp clean, keeping the water clean, I think it will survive.
It's going to be okay because the children of the Bahamas is going to protect it.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.